The Rebbe says that every single Yid has a neshama. We're all equally Jewish, and the fact that we're all equally Jewish means that we all have this love for Hashem in equal measure. And therefore, because at our essence we all have our love for Hashem in equal measure, so therefore all Yidden give up their lives al Kiddush Hashem. The words that Alter Rebbe uses actually is al haroiv for the most part, but that only raises the question: why is it only al haroiv? Why is it only for most part? We just finished in the last two chapters discussing this tremendous love for Hashem. Why are there exceptions to the rule? So the story is like this. Imagine a mother who gives up her child for adoption. But she's a mother still. She continues to love her child. Now imagine one day she's walking down the street, and as it happens, walking on the other side of the street is her 30-year-old son, and they pass by each other. What's likely to happen? Nothing.
They'll feel something.
She's going to keep, I don't think so. She's going to keep on walking, he's going to keep on walking, and life is going to continue. Now, although the strange thing is, she has been thinking about him every single day for the last 30 years, and is full of love for him. It's very possible that he is aware that he's an adopted child, and he's been looking for his mother for the past 20 years, and would love to meet her, and he has feelings for her also. But nothing. Why? The love exists, but there is a certain prerequisite, which is you have to have knowledge. You have to have awareness that this is my mother or this is my child. In a similar way, when we're talking about our love for Hashem, every single Yid, without exception, loves Hashem. And the relationship, the Yid's relationship with Hashem, is so important to him or her that he or she would be willing to give up their life so as not to be disconnected from Hashem. But what constitutes the relationship? What is this relationship? And how does it get cut? And how does it get severed? Historically speaking, for the average Yid, what was the red line? What was the red line which was crossed, which a person would say, if I cross this line, then I've severed my relationship with Hashem?
What is that?
So historically, that line was Avodah Zarah or converting to another religion. That is the knowledge they had. I want a relationship with Hashem, and my brain tells me that if I were to chas v'shalom leave Yiddishkeit or bow down to Avodah Zarah, then I forfeited that relationship with Hashem. It no longer exists. But this is something which is somewhat subjective. So you had many Yidden, for example, in Spain, who said to themselves, I can go through the external motions of bowing down to a cross, but I'm still connected to Hashem. That was their cheshbon. And that's why they weren't rejecting Hashem, and in their opinion they were still connected to Hashem, and that's why they were still lighting the Shabbos candles and having the Pesach Seder in the cellar. If they felt that they had severed themselves from Hashem and that they weren't Yidden anymore, why were they keeping the mitzvah still? Because in their estimation, felt that they could still remain connected to Hashem despite the fact that they bowed down to the cross. And also, interestingly, that many of these Marranos, when they were caught, and they were given the option that if they would re-embrace Christianity, then they would be kind to them, and they would kill them and then just burn the bodies on the Arodafe. But if they refused to do that, then they would be burned alive. And historically, many, if not most of the Yidden chose to be burned alive, which is interesting. These were Yidden who already converted to Christianity once. But it didn't, in their minds they were still Yidden, in their minds they were still connected.
So what were they asked to do first?
So everyone has their red line. For most Yidden, Al Haroiv, as the Alter Rebbe says, for most Yidden, that red line was converting. Some people, their red line was different. And you have that today. Every single Yid, even the Yidden who are far away from Yiddishkeit. You ask them, what is your red line? You want to be connected to Hashem. What is your red line? But the problem is that red line depends a lot on their knowledge, as we mentioned before about the mother and the son. Some people have no idea, B'chal, that to be connected to Hashem means to do Torah mitzvahs. Some people have no idea that to be connected to Hashem means to be a Yid. So that's why you can have today a Yid, Rahman al-Islam, who will convert to another religion. And that's not because he doesn't have a neshama. To the contrary, it's because he does have a neshama. It's because he wants to connect to Hashem and he has no idea how to. And to him, he found someone spoke to him and gave him a way to connect to Hashem. And he doesn't realize this is the wrong way. Again, historically, for thousands of years, when almost all Yidden were from, by the way, so at that time, the average Yid understood that my connection with Hashem, where does it end? Is by converting. So that's what people give up their lives for in mass. But there were certain people who took it further and says, no, I can be connected to Hashem even without that. And even today, you go to, I fast on Yom Kippur. My kids get a bris. Say Kaddish for, in other words, there are those things which to them, that is their relationship to Hashem, and that's something which nothing in the world can take it away from them.